Right, so welcome back to Exehaven Harbour. Well, I have moved on a bit. I haven't filmed that much of building this, the goods shed, Scalescenes goods shed, and I've got to this far, and basically it's finished. And I think it's actually come out really quite well. Really pleased with that. They're quite fiddly in Engage Scalescenes, and you want to have a little look at John at Wimbletrain. He's got a real knack for building these. I'm getting there, I think. I think it's a little bit scruffy here and there, but it's not too bad. Now, I'm going to put the roof on shortly, and this is the Scalescenes roof tiles, and they recommend cutting them off in strips. Well, I have done that on the office building, just here. But I actually done an experiment before I went ahead and done this, but I've actually just printed them out on sticky labels and stuck them down without cutting out each strip. And because the way that they're weathered, I think it actually looks really quite okay. And I'm quite pleased with that. And it's a lot easier than cutting out all the individual strips of tiles and then laying them down. It just took forever. And I've got to be honest, you know, in Engage and looking down at it from a distance, you wouldn't know. And because of the weathering that's already pre-done, it looks okay. So I'm going to stick with that for a while. What I'm going to do now is attempt at making the windows myself out of plastic card strips, and we'll see how we get on. And I'll come back to you once I've done that. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with this kit. It's quite nicely detailed, as all Scalescenes kits are. Done a few little bits and pieces. There's bits that have got to be finished off yet. But yeah, it's coming together. Right, okay, so that's the goods shed basically done. Well, it is done. I'm not going to do much more to it. I've done a little bit of weathering here and there. I think you might be able to see sort of just some traces there. If I can keep my finger still, there's some bits and pieces that I've done, and on the roof as well, although it's sort of pre-weathered as such, I've added a bit more just to give it a little bit of a touch of me, if you like. And I also made the windows for the roof out of plastic card strips, and I think they've come out quite well. I'll get you around that side if you can see that as well. So yeah, it's a great kit. Again, as always with Engage, I don't know what it's like building a 00 scale kit with Scalescenes, but Engage is so fiddly. There are lots of fiddly bits to cut, and although this is probably the best one I've built so far, it's still a little scruffy here and there. And you know, as hard as I try, and a lot of it is pretty good, you're still going to get little scruffy bits. And I'm getting better and better at building these. Well, I think so, in my own opinion. But yeah, it's a lovely kit, and it's a reasonably straightforward one. If you're thinking about building a Scalescenes kit, it might be worth a go giving this one a build, because, like I say, I felt it was just a little bit easier than I built the station, and that was very fiddly. So, but yeah, good little kit. So now we're on to another Scalescenes kit. I did buy a few months ago, and I haven't got round to making them yet. So in the evenings, because I'm not working out actually in the cabin at the moment, because I've got loads of other things to do, I've started building the row of cottages now, and I decided to go for the Flint. Let's see if we can get you in there. The Flint walled styled cottages, and again, relatively, by the looks of the instructions, relatively simple to build, but again, being Engage, they're so very small, and to get the precise cuts, it's very difficult, and so far so good. I've done okay, But just to give you an idea of size, there's my finger, the old magic finger in there, and obviously these are centimetres, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 centimetres long. So it's not very big, and as you can see, I've got some more plastic card strip out, and I'm looking at making some windows up for it, or some window frames, but I think I may leave it on this one because I can't get anything smaller than what I've got here at the moment. I think what you're seeing in front of you is 30 thou by 40 thou. What does it say? 0.75 millimeters by 1 millimeter. It's still a little bit chunky, to be fair, but I'll see what I can do. I'm going to have a little go at making a frame just to see. I'll fit it in and see how it looks. So we'll be back to you with progress at some point. Right, so here we are, back underneath the benchwork again. This is the latest board that I built. It's temporarily leaning on a piece of insulation board at the back there, and it will come up a little bit higher than that. And but I need to make another board to get under here, but I'm going to be short. So what are we going to do about it? So I'm going to make another board to fit under here, but I'm seriously thinking about making a helix. So watch this space. This could be a disaster waiting to happen. I've had a look at helixes or helixes online, and I know that Mark at Piddly the Marsh has bought some knock ones, and they're rather expensive, Mark, but I did have a look at those. And then there's quite on a few of the other manufacturers, there's quite a big lead wait time, and I don't want to keep waiting. So whether there's a fool's errand or not, we're going to have a go at making a helix, I think, unless I can come up with another plan. So follow me as we, with some trepidation, look at building a helix. Right, so in my madness I bought a big board of MDF. It was 8x4. I can't remember what the metric measurements are now, and I've had it cut in half. So this is what we're going to cut the helix out of. I'm going to use this white plastic pipe to make the struts, and to adjust it we're using these what do they call them, pipe clips, and I can adjust them up and down, and once I've got them at the right height, then I can screw them into the actual pipe. So yes, this is going to be an interesting project. So yeah, I hope you might find it interesting. I mean, it might be an utter disaster, and it'll be interesting to watch a complete novice at woodwork having a go at this. I'm actually quite excited about doing it, but yeah, it's perhaps a little bit of an undertaking that I hadn't thought about. But for the board it was £24, and for the pipe and the clips it was about a £5. So I'm hoping that it might save me, I don't know, over £50 or £60 in making it myself. But like I say, interesting little project, and we'll see. The rest of the wood there is for bracing the next board that I've got to make, because I've run out of the bracing that I had, and also for the support for that board, actually on the underneath part of the baseboard. So you'll see anyway as we go along. Not very well explained, but yeah, so I'll be back in a while. Right, so There's a board. Put some track on it. This is a 4th radius set track that I'll probably use for the Helix, and it's not going to be a big Helix. It could be about 1.5 circles, I think, that I may need, and maybe more, but I've got the 2 boards to do it, and I might actually be able to get 2 circles out of a board, but that will remain to be seen. I've got to leave enough room either side so that I can get the pipe work down so that it can sit on that. So anyway, I'll be back to you. Right, okay, so we've moved on a little bit further. The cottage set from Scalescenes, I think it's R019, the kit number, something like that anyway. I went for the Flint style cottage, although I have got the textures for the other styles of walling, so in the future we'll be doing a bit of that. So this is as far as I've got with that. I'm quite pleased with how that's gone together, although as usual I misread some of the instructions, so and well, it was more of me getting a little bit ahead of the game really, rather than me misreading. And anyway, so the window should be sandwiched between the 2 layers of the outside and inside wall, and I didn't. Like I say, I was galloping ahead and doing something else, but anyway, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It is engaged, and you can't really see in there. I'm not planning to light these, so again, with these Scalescenes builds at the moment, it's more practice, and I feel that I'm getting better and more confident. And I know a couple of people have said, can you show us you building them? So I might do that in the future. We'll see how that goes. I mean, it could end up being a right boring video, but I might put something together and see what's what. But I've still got a few more kits that I downloaded quite some time ago, and I kind of semi-forgot about them. I looked on my iPad the other day, found another 2 or 3 kits to build yet, so that will be another little project that I can keep ongoing of an evening. Right, you join me now. A little short running session today just to finish off the video. Class 33 is heading a rake of coaches into Padstow this afternoon, and as we come back we see the Class 50 with a Birmingham to Penzance service. Passing it now is a freight, and it's working its way up from Exehaven Harbour through to Cardiff docks. Now, I did have quite a full rake on the Class 52, but we've slowly whittled it down because some of the trucks are being a little bit playful today, shall we say, and it's weird because sometimes they'll run around, and in fact before I whittled this down and before I started filming, they run around quite happily for about 20 minutes without any coming off or any decoupling, and then out of the blue there was about 4 or 5 that decided to start playing up, so they got taken off because, as you will see at the end of this video, I can't fiddle about too much, and that will be to come. Right, so I've broken a bone in my foot. I was loading up my car with a friend's golf clubs the other day and I slipped off the edge of the pavement and caught myself. It hurt, but I thought, oh, that'll be alright, and drove off, played golf, walked 5.5 miles, played really badly because my foot was swollen like a balloon once I'd got back, and anyway, a trip down to A&E revealed that I'd broken a metatarsal. So it's taken some effort to get into the cabin this morning. I can't see me doing much in terms of building any more in the next week or two. My foot is actually getting a little bit better, so I'm hoping in the next week or two, with the aid of this boot, I can start doing a few bits and pieces. But if I'm on my feet for too long, it does start hurting, so bear with me now. Right, so another little bit of sad news, but I guess in respects to the way the world's going at the moment, it's not, you know, it's not that big in the big scheme of things, but unfortunately me and Mrs. Exehaven have managed to contract COVID 2 or 3 days before our Caribbean cruise. Our dream holiday, we've been looking forward to it for months and months and months, and unfortunately we were going with Celebrity Cruises. They've been very good actually. They've said they're not going to let us on board even if we clear positive on the day that we fly, just because we've had it so recently. So it looks like, and fingers crossed, they're going to give us a full refund rather than me having to go through and battle with the insurance, although I've spoken to the insurance company and they're pretty good as well. So yeah, a bit annoying really, and what with the foot as well, it's put a little bit of a dampener on things, but I've still got plenty to do that I can do indoors. Like I say, the Scalescenes kits, oh excuse me, feeling a bit fluey today with the COVID. I feel okay, but just a bit off for me. Anyway, and of course the most frustrating thing as well for me is that I can't play golf for 6 weeks. So 1 week in, I've got 5 weeks to go. So anyway, enough of that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Bit of a mishmash. Some interesting things to come hopefully, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers everybody. I was nearly going to cough again. Just stop that in time. Okay, cheers everybody. Thanks for all of the comments on the last video. It done really well, and I know it's been about a month, but hopefully I'll get another one out in the next couple of weeks, because I haven't got that much to do, even if it's just an update on what I'm doing building the Scalescenes kits that I've got downloaded. So thanks to all the new subscribers as well. Another little clump come on, so heading up towards that 1,000 slowly but surely. And yeah, like I say, thanks a lot everybody. Cheers.